you don't take failure seriously. You really don't take failure seriously. Every day is like a new day, and you deal with it on a daily basis.
On the Absolutely Right podcast, we bring to you one high performer who has created his journey in spite of all the challenges, all the obstacles, not because things were smooth, but actually the person had the willingness to figure the solution. And I feel when you hear these raw, real, genuine conversations of people's struggle and their way of solving the problems, you learn a lot. Our guest today is Mr. Pawan Sarda, who is currently working as a Chief Marketing Officer at FutureGroup. One of the highlights of Pawan's career was with Tata Housing when he decided to sell houses online in the market when India was not even ready for online transaction or purchases. He landed up selling 250 houses in a day, which created a record even for Facebook and Google, and for which he was invited to their headquarters to present his case study.
It was a big challenge which was thrown to us, and obviously with the constraint of budget, like a very, very minimal budget, right? And that's where I think, that's where I love to be innovative.
If you look at Pawan's journey, he's a small town boy who made his way through the corporate career to become the CMO that he is today. My favorite parts of Pawan's stories are where he actually experienced downfall, he was confronted with failures, and no matter how tough it looked, he decided to rediscover himself.
What next? Because there is so much of stress. There is so much of uncertainty going on. I mean, that's exactly where I thought to myself that, listen, I need to do something.
How he looks at failure, how he looks at risk taking, and how he looks at really figuring his own way through the tough times is really, really interesting.
The world is changing. The world is zooming around. Okay. So I said, why not create Zoom as my own world? And that's exactly how I started Sorted. And that's given me a lot of strength. Like, professionally, personally.
So if you are going through something like this and figuring out how to learn, where to gather your resources from, this conversation will come handy. If you like this part of the conversation, then listen to the entire episode of Absolutely Right podcast on IBM Podcast, on Google, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you listen to your podcast from. Our goal is to create conversations which help you move forward and create the shift that you're looking for by creating some actionable, simple tools to go with. Please let me know how you like this episode. Happy writing.